checklist, goals, narratives, progress portfolios. A lot of preschools would just give you narratives at the end of the quarter, diba? For us, we want it very regular, so you're aware of the development and progression of your child. Curriculum, Tiff.
So, just a brief background on myself. I'm Tiffany Yu. I will be the school directress. I have 10 years working experience with very young children, from 15 months all the way to 5 years old. I took my Bachelor of Arts in ECE. I also took my Master's in ECE. So I've always loved children from the very beginning, and I knew that I wanted to teach young children. Throughout my entire experience, I found that teaching children through developmentally appropriate practice, or DAP for short, I feel is one of the most effective ways of kind of getting down to their level and getting to their needs. So what DAP really is, it's a framework on how to properly teach young children. And it advocates play as its medium for learning. Because play, for children, that's their way of making sense of the world. You can't force a child to sit down and listen to you and tell you to, like, oh, you write this, you do that, you memorize this. A child can't do that yet. So you have to adapt to the needs of the child. So through play, purposeful play at least, that's how we can get to their interest. That's where you're saying, how can you get a child interested for 2 hours? You can. You just have to really develop a proper program, and through developmentally appropriate practices, we can do that. There are 3 key components for DAP. The 3 key components are, we look into your child's age, we look into their developmental age, and we look into their chronological age. We also look into their interest, because how can we get a child to listen to you if we don't look into what they like? So for example, if you have a child that likes trucks, we will try to cater a program that would, revolve around trucks. If you have a child that likes, what are the, I don't know, Peppa Pig, or, the bus, I forgot his name, the blue bus. Do you guys know that?
It's like you're incorporating their interests.
Yes.
Correct.
So it's very important that their interests are included into the DAP curriculum. And then the last one is we look into their cultural background, because of course we feel family is very important. So what values you want to impart on your child, we also want to coincide with that. So we're very, very clear on really developing and fostering a very strong relationship with the parents and the teachers. And through that, we're going to do it informally, formally, through journals. We'll always be giving journals every 2 weeks. And these journals will also have photos, so you really get to see what your child is doing in preschool. Because most of the time, both parents are working already. And so sometimes parents always ask their children, so what did you do at school today? And your child's only going to say, I don't know, or nothing.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, and so, but really, your child actually did something at school. And this is our way of actually kind of connecting that gap. Because children, it's very hard for them. They're very, their short-term memory, sometimes they're still developing it. They're still young. Their brains are still small. So it develops as they mature. So this is our way of kind of bridging that gap. So at the schoolroom, we will be offering you 4 levels. There's the infant toddler level for our 2-year-olds, nursery level for our 3. There's a pre-kindergarten level for our 4, and there's the kindergarten level for our 5. Now you may notice that we kind of put the age limit, so you have to be 2 by September, or 3 by September, 4 by September. The reason for this is because we want to cater to big schools. When you enter your child into big schools, they have certain restrictions. So you have to be at least 5, or you have to be at least 6 by the end of this year. So typically August to September would be the middle ground that would allow your child to enter into big schools seamlessly. So for the infant toddler level, this is the first year your child is entering preschool. They're very young. So the main focus of this level is really socialization and independence. So this is where the sepangs come into play, all right? So the 2-year-old level is my forte. I've dealt with parents and I've dealt with children who really went through intense separation anxiety, and that's very hard on the child. So at the schoolroom, we're really focusing on a gradual kind of weaning off from the parent and child. And with that, that's where we collaborate with the families also. So if we know that your child is really going to go through sepangs, then we'll have the caregiver, we'll have the mom stay for the first couple of weeks, and then we'll lessen it across as the school year goes by. But if we know that your child is ready, and your child is very independent already, then that's when the teacher will try to challenge your child to kind of already start socializing and start making friends, or even helping the ones that are struggling through separation anxiety too. So that is the focus of infant toddler level. Letters and numbers will be introduced informally, not very academic, but again, it will be introduced. Shapes, colors also will be introduced at this level. For the nursery level, this is where your child becomes very curious. So when they enter 3, all of their questions start coming in. Mommy, why like this? Mommy, why like that? What is this? What is that? So this is where teachers would really start listening to their questions and trying to answer their questions too. Rather formally, we will start introducing the mastery of the letters. So the children would have to know the letter name. Phonics, we'll put emphasis on phonics as they grow older. Phonics is letter sound. So first is letter name. So a child should be able to identify that A looks like this, B looks like this, and then identify that number 1 looks like this, number 2 looks like this, so on and so forth. We will be mastering their colors and their secondary colors. We'll be also focusing on their shapes and complex shapes as well. But again, bear in mind that all of this will be happening throughout a three-hour period wherein it's focused on play. So within a preschool classroom, I forget to mention that once you enter at the schoolroom classroom, you'll notice that there's a center in each room. So each center will focus on a learning goal that we have set for your child. So for example, you will see a table that's focused on the arts. That develops their memory for color, or they're actually for experimentation on color, and it also develops aesthetics. You'll also, when you enter the schoolroom classroom, you'll notice a manipulative table which would focus on problem-solving skills, critical thinking skills, so that's where the puzzles come into play. And then you'll also see a fine motor center that focuses on their little fingers. So at the very young age, we really put a lot of sensory activities like Play-Doh to really strengthen the muscle. But as they grow older, we start introducing the pen and paper. So that's when they start to learn to write their own names too. There'll also be a blocks area wherein children are they can freely create their own structures, and that's where balance and symmetry comes into play. So that's math already. We will also have a library center which focuses on their love for reading. They may not be able to read yet, but to have books in your home or in the classroom allows your child to look at the pictures and to really foster that love to look at books and look at pictures and ask mommy, what does this mean? Or mommy, what is this picture saying? So again, in all our levels, it will be very center-based approach. Now after the nursery level, we have the pre-K level. So the pre-K level technically is the last year in preschool. At this year, we're already going to be preparing your child for big school. At least they should be able to know the names of all the letters. We're already going to be introducing phonics, so the letter sounds are going to come into play. So, they're going to understand that A means ah. The sound of A is ah, or at least the short A version. And then they're also going to have more focus on numbers, and sight reading. So sight reading is basically seeing the word and knowing what it means without having to phonetically say it. For example, the word the or the. If you phonetically say it, it's going to say th. It doesn't say the. So the child has to understand that, okay, when I see THE, it means the. It's an article, or the. Same goes with numbers. 1. If you actually phonetically sound 1, o, it's not going to say 1. So these are things that we teach children, to actually see the word and know that 1 means 1. And then associate it with the number itself also. So this is what we do at the pre-K level. Again, it's not going to be all sit down. It's very interactive, very engaging. A lot of gameplay will be involved. It's really going to, again, you focus on the interest of your child. So at the kindergarten level, this is actually your child's first step into big school. So here we're going to be focusing on reading already, because at this point the expectation is they need to master their letter sounds. So basic CVC words, consonant, vowel, consonant, means that they can phonetically read, let's say, cat. When you sound out the word cat, k, a, t. And then the faster they say it, that's where the blending occurs. That's when they start hearing k, a, t, k, a, t. So that's when they start knowing, oh, cat. So, and then they start associating it with the animal cat. So that's how reading starts occurring. Here we also focus on basic addition and subtraction skills. How we introduce this is first through toys, because children, they're very concrete, they need to touch. And then gradually we are going to introduce addition and subtraction through worksheets. So that's how we kind of transcend from real toys. For example, these are 2 cups. If I take 1 cup away, how many cups are left? Just 1. And then we're going to transcend to paper. So let's say there's a drawing of a cup. So if you take 1 cup away, just put an X. Now how many cups are left? So they're going to know just 1 cup is left. So that's how we do it, very gradually, but also based on their skill level. So if we know your child's already, very good in math and very good at numbers, then we're going to start challenging them further. But if we also know that your child is developing in this area, then we'll also focus on that to make sure that they also are ready for big school. Because kindergarten level, at this point, once they finish this level, they are already going to enter into grade 1. And at grade 1, you are expected to read already at least CBC words and know how to add and subtract.
Question on that.
Yes.
So is it a one-on-one assessment for the curriculum per child? If you say that he is developing on this particular area or subject, so he's advancing in math, so you will be continuing.
After school programs offers parents a way for children to stay longer in school. Not only that, it also offers enrichment programs wherein, if you feel your child needs a bit more time in school, then you can also stay. The reason why we grouped it as a mixed age group is because the beauty of having a vertical class is that the older children learn to care for the younger children, and the younger children really look up to the leadership skills of the older children.
Socialization-wise.
Yes, this is very much for socialization. For the child care fund, we grouped it for 2 to 3 years old. And again, lunch will be served, and after lunch, we will be giving them ample time to play, gross motor wise, at least for active play. And then when they come back inside, we'll be preparing other activities that would really maximize their day. Now, there's also the big school room, which is more academic oriented. It's really for the 4 to 5-year-old students that really, and it's for parents who want to prepare their child for big school. So the focus here would really be on the mastery of reading, writing, listening skills, and doing worksheets. But again, lunch will be served, and we will be giving them ample time to play outside, and this will be done in a very gamely manner. We really do want to stress the developmentally appropriate practice approach, because again, children at 4 and 5, yes, they may seem older, but they're still kids if you think about it. They do want some, introducing letters and numbers through games is a really fun way for them to remember. There's always this one quote that someone always, and I never forget it. It's not what you learn. You'll forget what people will teach you, but you'll never forget the experience that they gave you. So giving them a really good experience allows for them to remember that for their entire lives.
Question?
Yes.
Sorry. Would that be inclusive or exclusive of the tuition fee?
That's exclusive of the
Alright.
tuition fee, so it's an add-on, and it's optional too for us.
How much would that be?
sometimes.
I can give you the list of the rates. Hindi pa naman siya memorize. But I can give you the rates.
If I remember collectively, it's 92,000, so it might run to 120, I believe.
If you're enrolled in the regular program, infant, nursery, pre-K, and kinder, you just have to add a couple of more to avail of the after-school program. But there are parents who would just avail of the after-school program. So it depends on what you need also. So we're very flexible in terms of the programs that we also offer.
So if you're enrolled, that would be discounted amount?
Yes, there would be a different rate from if you're already enrolled in our regular program.
All right, thank you.
The other program that we're offering, which is very new too, and it's also something we are advocating, me and Raquel at least, is the daycare program. A lot of moms nowadays, I hear a lot of them saying that, I feel like it's very hard to find a proper yaya that can care for my child. A yaya that's really going to teach my child proper values without scaring or threatening my child. So this is what the daycare is about. The daycare is going to be led by trained early childhood educators who actually believe in developmentally appropriate practices. So at the schoolroom, we're going to offer this full-day program for children ages 1.5 to 5 years old. How this day will work, it's going to be very relaxing. We will still be focusing on a sensors-based, play-based approach. But again, we're going to allow for nap time, especially for the young children, like the 1.5 to 2, they still need their afternoon time. But for the older children, if we can see that they can make do without nap time, then we'll focus on outdoor play and really game play. So it really gets their energy going. So this is an alternative for parents who want to keep their child, you know, who don't really, how do I say this? Who would rather, you know, give options for their child to be in a preschool setting on some days and maybe at home on other days too. So we have summer programs also.
Summer programs. This is very timely, especially now. Those who are planning to send their kids, especially for June, first time. This is sort of like can prepare them better. So we also offer both academic and non-academic programs for summer programs. We will be offering it on. We will start our programs on April
18th, yes, after the launch.
But after the launch, on the 14th, we'll have an open house on the 15th and 16th. Especially for those in the Pasig area, if you can see what we offer, you can just pass by and join our free trial classes. So
yes.
You see also how we conduct our classes, but at least you'll be familiarized with how we execute the programs. Because right now, of course, you would hear what the program is all about, but it's different once you experience what the classroom is.
Okay.
So we're offering several programs. One of them would be the summer schoolroom. The summer schoolroom is really like a preschool program, except that we're extending it over to the summer. So the activities here would be very summer related. There's going to be a field trip at the end of this curriculum wherein, you know, the children will be celebrating through a summer picnic. So everything would be revolving around what do you do during summertime? What do you eat during summertime? What are your favorite things to make during summertime? Things like that. This is also a very good stepping stone for parents who want to put their child in a preschool setting without actually committing to an entire year yet. So it's again, it's also a nice way for them to see what a preschool is all about. Now we also have 3 specialized programs that focus on, 1, the letters and their love for reading. So this is Literacy Fun. We are offering this for children ages 3-5, and again, it is fostering their love for books. How we're going to do this is through famous children's authors. So we're going to be focusing on maybe Eric Carle, Audrey Day, and what their famous books would be about. We also have the Science and Numeracy Club, which really will focus on experiments. So all those children that love to tinker and love to measure or make you know, little volcanic experiments are very free to join this class. They're not just going to be making baking soda and vinegar solutions. They're also going to be making slime maybe, or Play-Doh, you know. And what I'm saying by making is they're going to be making this from scratch. So your child will actually be measuring. By measuring, they're going to have to learn how to, you know, take 1 scoop and do it properly. And so that's where the math comes in. And so they have to, because you'll notice that if you don't use the measurements properly, you're not going to get a consistency of your that's correct for that matter. So this is where self-correction comes into play. The last program we're offering academically would be the Artist's Corner. So this is more for children that really just love the arts. So the focus of this program would be repurposing things, old things, to make it new. So, you know, a lot of it is recycling. I'm a big advocate for recycling, like as much as possible. I try not to throw anything away. You know, even tissue paper rolls, you can make so much art with that. So, you know, that's one thing that you can do. Like whatever you see around you, you can turn it into art. And that's what art is all about. We also have non-academic programs, which Raquel will talk more about.
Okay, non-academic, we have Taekwondo for kids. I have a bias because I took Taekwondo when I was young, so for me it's the best way to teach discipline also, but in a fun and learning way. So Taekwondo, we can accept from ages 4 to 6, and the one who will be conducting the class for Taekwondo is actually a coach from the national team. She used to be my teammate in UP. She's now coaching for the national team. So, but I warned her, we're not training for competition, so it will be very light and very fun. So, siguro at the end of the program, we'll do like an exhibition for kids. It'll be fun. And then we also have hip hop for kids, for those who's fond of dancing. Ages 4 to 7 also. The one who will be facilitating this class is also a friend of mine from UP. She's part of the dance group there. She also has her own dance studio now, which will be helping us for the hip hop for kids. And of course, we want to inculcate language as early as earliest age of 3 to 7. If this program actually, if it does well, we will probably inculcate it in our regular programs for the school year program. So we are starting off with Mandarin. Okay. And since we're undergoing renovation and we are not in the schoolroom, we want to show you our vision on how it will look like, and it will look like that. Or else I will cry. That's the perspective that the architect made. So we really hired an interior decorator and an architect that specializes on preschool design. He came from the bathroom. Classroom.
Walk through na ngayon.
Yeah.
Outdoors.
Walk through.
Would the rooms be soundproof?
Yes, of course. And then Tiffany's office.
My back in.
And then go back down.
Question on the stairs. Is it safe not to have railings for the kids?
There will be railings.
The
okay.
wall. It will
Yes.
be mounted on the wall.
Ilan yung square meter yung occupy na sa building?
No, it's
280 according to Fence.
Okay,
Yeah.
250.
One floor lang.
2 floors.
Two floors,
Yeah.
okay.
There's a mezzanine.
Anong floor? Ang ano yun?
It's on the ground floor.
It's on the ground floor. So there, we'll be launching on April 14 at around 10 o'clock. If you're free, please feel free to drop by so you could see the school, its physical structure, and then you could also observe and join in our fun activities.